I've gone, like gone to Kentucky, like the last 2 times, I always forget one thing. Whether it's the speaker, we're live. You hit go live, and it's live. Woo! Welcome YouTube. Welcome. We're live on YouTube and Facebook now, and great. We're here at Ironfish Distillery in Thompsonville, Michigan, and do the introductions. Jeff, introduce yourself and.
Yeah, so my name is Jeff Eddington. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of Ironfish. I've been here a little over just about 4 years. We got Kyle Behenna, he's our production manager, the guy behind the whiskey. Then we have Isaac Reed, our head blender and product curator, the guy behind all the blends and just making sure our profile is the same and consistent. And he gets to taste barrels and have fun all the time. He's got the best job.
Well, I will tell you, Isaac, I really think your addition to Ironfish really has upped the game. Your palate's like right on. Early on, I had tasted a little bit of Ironfish, and it's young whiskey and craft distillery, but there was an aspect of it wasn't bad, it wasn't the greatest or whatever, but when I came with Jeff the last time, impressed.
All right.
You're working. I mean, you're working with more mature whiskey. That helps. Nice. But even the Mad Angler whole aspect of it and working in just fantastic. So I'm on that. I got psyched. We came here and I wasn't sure. And then I met right at the end. We already had done tastings and everything. And all of a sudden I meet Jeff, and all of a sudden it was off the rails after that.
They're coming to visit more often. Yeah.
All right. So another thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about the. I know you don't have a lot left as far as this year goes, as far as your distillers program, the circle. Yep. What's it actually?
Our Mad Angler brands, but we do have a couple special things we'll talk about.
No, but I'm talking about the
whiskey club.
The whiskey club.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think we're down to 4.
Okay, but you're going to be down to we're going to do that right here. We're going to join the whiskey club tonight, and then all right. So I'm going to get this going. So what happens is we get a 30-second. We'll get a. Oh, please don't just fall off. We're going to get a 30-second promo from one of our people, and then you're going to hear the music, and then I'll introduce them. You reintroduce everybody so we get it like we did. But and then we'll be recording the audio. Now, when the audio's over, we'll be doing it. We'll play the music. When it's over, just know that we're still going to be live on Facebook and YouTube. Yeah. I say that because sometimes it's like, oh, we're not okay. It's done.
My nose.
Yeah. So not just. I've been like getting this ready and whatever. We're on Facebook and YouTube, and all I say, wait, what are you guys talking about? So all right, so we're gonna do it this way, and then I'll just lead into the Scotchy Bourbon boys, do a little bit of a promotion, and then introduce you, Jeff, and Jeff. You just give everything, yeah. Here we go.
Just don't have a crazy knee.
Hear it?
Drinking bourbon, sipping on some scotch. We get a little wild, but it's sure fun to watch. We love what we do, we're drinking every brew. Man, we're tall sons, but we're telling the truth. Yeah, we're the Scotchy Bourbon boys, raisins and hell, boys, we're here to have fun and we hope you enjoy. We're here to have fun.
All right. Welcome back to another podcast of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Thank you, Kenny Fuller, for that awesome theme song. We are on location at Ironfish, and Jeff, now say your last name. Eddington. I always, I'm Tiny is bad with names. I just like it's at least I got your card and I was able, but Jeff is going to introduce Kyle and Isaac on what go from there, and then we've got Knobs and Roxy. So
Nice. Cool. Yeah, my name is Jeff Eddington. I'm the Chief Operating Officer at Ironfish Distillery, and I got two of our big rock stars of the company.
Woo!
Kyle loves that. So Kyle is our production manager. He's the guy behind the scenes making the whiskey flow and the product flow. We got Isaac Reed, our head blender and product curator, the guy behind the scenes on making the whiskey taste fantastic.
All right.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome. And let's just see. We got a little bit of a thing going here. It's just, it's not a big deal. It's on Facebook and YouTube, but for technical, yeah, this is normal for us. And
Technical difficulties.
yeah,
You guys aren't a multi-million-dollar production? I mean, come on.
That's
come
all
on. You should just start. And I've done this before where it's got all that, and then all of a sudden I'm not.
Just shake the dongle a little harder. I was.
Just kidding.
It's
Give
just,
this guy a drink.
Yeah.
anyways, all right. So we're on Facebook Live, and I'll be able to get this on. Don't worry about that.
Yep.
It's just like, man, let's just try one more time. Let's see. It's this. This should be
6 times the charm.
I've had it where the thing. Yeah, it was.
Restart it.
No, we're not going to restart now. Ah, counting down. Look at that.
Woo!
And
One
just so
shake.
you know, on the audio, they didn't hear any of that. so
We'll put it in.
that is crazy. Anyways,
Don't
perfect.
touch me.
Okay, so just quick say www.scotchybourbonboys.com for all things Scotchy Bourbon Boys. We have Glencairns and t-shirts like the one I'm wearing, and then also you can check out our bios, and then also we're on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X. Also on Apple, iHeart, and Spotify. But no matter where you like or listen or watch us, make sure you like, listen, comment, subscribe, and leave good feedback. All right, I can do that pretty quick. That's getting better and better, but it took me a long time for that to happen. All right, so Jeff, we're here. Just give us a little bit. I mean, the distillery is beautiful. Okay, so we're in Thompsonville. And it's kind of cool because you take back roads to get here, and then you take a dirt road to get here.
Yeah.
And you're right on a farm. There's craft distilleries like to be on farms because there's a lot of stuff. I've been to many. But what's really kind of cool is this working farm is you guys, have, as you've gone along, have worked all the stuff. When you're coming in, you have signs is that this is turning into this many barrels of whiskey and this many. So talk about how you guys started out.
Yeah, so we're on so first off, we're a 9-year-old distillery, which, in distilling terms is, pretty infantile, but we're making a lot of good whiskey out here down this dirt road in the middle of northern Michigan here. But I think, the biggest thing, making whiskey out here, I'm killing it anyway.
It's okay. Don't worry. No, that's it. We're
just
guys talking.
Yeah. So, 9 years out here on this farm, we grow our own Haslett rye. So we have a little over 80 acres that we grow. We just harvested a little over 100,000 pounds of Haslett rye. We're really excited about that. That goes into our whiskey. We also buy local corn, wheat, malted barley as well. This year we do about 600 barrels of whiskey. So we're not huge, but we're a good supplier up here in northern Michigan. just here making great whiskey.
Yeah, and when you're up here, your stuff is on the shelf, distributed all through this area. There's no doubt about it. And you've got the Ironfish brand, and but then you also have the Mad Angler brand. And if anybody goes to the website, when I went back, we did the Manifesto. We did that, put that up, and your marketing team does a really good job on your videos, especially the Mad Angler. Talk about how you guys went from Ironfish to the Mad Angler.
Yeah, so it's super important as a young distillery to have that cash flow revenue coming in. So we didn't, we made a company choice to not, bring out our whiskey before it was actually ready. But of course, we needed money coming in. So to do that, we sourced some whiskey from MGP, as a lot of people do. We brought in some really great high rye bourbon and some 95% rye, 5% malted barley rye. But we also didn't just want to slap our label on an MGP product. So we started a barrel finishing program, which really kind of set the tone for who we're going to be as a distillery and blending as well. So we did that to kind of keep the whiskey flowing, keep things unique, and start different blending projects. And bring in some money while our whiskey that we were making ourselves had time to really age to maturity where we were happy about pushing out instead of having to push it out to just make a couple bucks. So that was a really great choice by our ownership group, and we definitely were happy that they made that choice. And it let us create the Ironfish brand, but also start creating our Mad Angler brand. So our Mad Angler is our premium line of whiskey, 100% our juice, our product out there. And we're still, like I said, we're pretty young still, so we're still kind of growing into that Mad Angler. We released maybe just under 500 cases this year total of Mad Angler bourbon, rye, and a wheated whiskey as well. So as years goes by, those numbers will go up, and we're really excited about that. But we're also blending some really exciting things like the Manifesto you were just talking about. Because we have a good stock now, and now we're not just making a bourbon and a rye and wheated whiskey. We're making really unique, fun blends. That Isaac can talk about a little bit here, that is really kind of putting Ironfish on the map, and we're able to use really good product that we want to have out, and not just have to choose, it has to be a 2 year because that's all we have or whatever. So now we have a lot of ammunition, and it's really exciting for us to be able to put it out there and kind of get people take a sip, be like, wow, Ironfish is doing some really fun stuff.
Yeah, Isaac. So as a blender, pick an Ironfish thing that you think basically that's over there that you think portrays the brand, and now that you've been putting that out there.
Stamp on it, right?
Me, mine.
No.
Ironfish or Mad Angler? What you guys think?
Well, I'll give it to you. Could give it up for either one.
Speak for yourself, man. Start with Mad Angler. I mean, we'll talk about the other stuff later. I think the Mad Angler sets this tone for the stuff later.
I mean, the coolest thing is the Mad Angler is based off of an author that writes and fishes up here in northern Michigan and loves the area, obviously. And then he's creative, and this is something that you guys came up with. And just now, which one did you pick?
The Mad Angler rye whiskey. So this is a 95% rye whiskey, aged 6 years. And yeah, I think it's one of our.
So this is the rye right off. This is what you've grown, and this is your version of 95.5.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Exactly.
That's overload.
Is that
That's mine.
okay? And then on Roxy's Go Light,
Yeah.
she's not a huge. She doesn't.
Someone's
mind
gotta drive
rye,
home.
but
I
it's-
like them, but
Yeah,
they don't
sounds
like
very
me.
smart.
I mean, we're not going to be throwing. We're not spitting, and we're not throwing on the floor. So throwing down on the floor.
This is
so-
the rye that'll convert it. Hey,
No, I love ryes. I just
And it's a 6 year, you said, right?
Yeah,
it
6
has
years.
that
yep.
very
6 years,
nice
94.
floral,
Sweet.
sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I first started out, there's some ryes that I really disliked. Bullet. I really had a. Now I'm not saying they're bad ryes. Okay, it's called palates, right? But they always tasted rancid to me. One of the other ones was Heaven's Door. There's an actual thing. No, when we were doing it, the partner that I had at the time, he loved it. So that's one thing we always say. It's a whiskey for you.
Yep.
But
Jen, you might like this.
that kind of set me off that I didn't like rye, and for a while, whatever. But I think I've tasted about 12 to 15 in a row now that I between Michter's and Whiskey Thief, and now that I'm like, I guess I kind of do like rye.
It's not
Right. But I think there has to be enough of the barrel in influence on it. It's early on. You get I like spearmint chocolate, you know, those. But if it's a lot of dill or whatever, that's just the
Well,
part.
you
But
won't get that in that.
Yeah.
No, you
not
won't
on the
get
nose.
Yeah.
No,
There's
the
a
nose
touch of
is-
spearmint there, but yeah,
Just a
it's
touch,
caramel
yeah,
and-
but
caramel and
much
spicy
sweeter,
berry character, but
No,
almost refreshing.
that's
That's
the
good
that's the
point.
it's
Yeah.
almost it's like a spearmint. There's mint.
yeah.
And I've talked to many people, and it's funny because when the barrels are aging, if as you get closer and you're tasting them more, they'll be like 1 month we'll taste it and it'll have that dill kind of whatever flavor, and then the next month it'll be chocolatey.
Yeah.
But then if you go again, you come back, it might have it's just it's like you got to kind of get it and then go for it, right? Did you find that?
Yeah. I mean, going through and tasting, a lot of it is like deciding when to pull the plug almost, but also not sure if you should pull the plug at that exact time. You know, sometimes you taste something, you're like, man, this is really, really good, but I give it a couple more months, will it get that extra umph to it, you know? And sometimes that can be hard because when it is tasting that good, especially if it was tasting bad before, you're kind of like, I really don't want to overdo this. You know?
Yeah, I got it.
yeah.
And then if you do
Yeah, there's a
overdo it,
nice
you
amount
use
of-
that barrel to blend it with something else.
Now, you guys talk about a little bit about your barrels. You purchase your barrels from
Yeah.
specific place that.
Yeah, I'll let Kyle talk about the
Yeah.
barrels. We got a couple sources.
Yeah, so first I'd like to highlight Crow's Nest barrels, which are made by one guy, Joe Smith in Grand Rapids. And from now until the end of the year, he'll bring us about 37 barrels a month. Normally it's 15. And so he pressure tests them the day before, delivers them to us, and we immediately fill them. But we do have Sigyn Moreau barrels from Napa, California. They're all kind of wine style, but with a bourbon spec. And they really dive into the science of the flavor profile of each stave. So they, you really know what you're going to get out of those barrels when you buy them. It's a little bit less of a crapshoot. You pay for it. And we're starting to find, especially with our rye, maybe the sweet spot is that 6-7 year. And that's what we thought last year. When we released our 6 year, we're super happy with it. And now we're tasting some younger rye out of those barrels. We're like, oh man, it's actually really good at hitting 2.5, 3 years. So there's a lot of science in those barrels, but again, it's all about how the whiskey evolves and when you're tasting it.
And the really cool one that's out right now that you're sold out of, I know, is the Manifesto, which that's just an American, that based off of how you blended it is an American whiskey, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean that is whiskey. I mean it's crazy. I love it.
Bring that whole thing over. Come on.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's
it's
whole
great.
display.
Pretty
That
nice.
gorgeous piece.
It's a gorgeous box.
It's a bit much.
Yeah.
So this was a box. You mentioned the author of the Mad Angler, Michael Delp. We released this 2-pack kind of in honor of him. So there's actually 2 whiskeys that go with it: the Dead Man and the Mad Angler Manifesto.
It's Michael Delp, right?
Yep, Michael Delp's local.
Yeah, and just you can tell, and you really get a good feel for. I mean, honestly, the whole program that you're doing, and now he'll come in and you have him taste the whiskeys and stuff like that. I mean, while you're working on it.
Oh yeah, he just pops in randomly.
Yeah, he's a good guy. But like when we do our whiskey club release, like he'll come and do like a poetry reading, and like he's involved. He just it's a funny story. Richard, one of our owners, tells that when he went to go to Michael Delp's like, hey, will you let us do this? And Michael Delp's like, what are you doing? Like, you want to use my stuff for whiskey? And Richard's like, yeah, that's what we're asking. He's like, yeah, sure, I don't care. like Richard's all like nervous, like trying to ask him to like, will you let us use your product? He's like, yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah, but I mean, whiskey is just as much about fishing as fishing is about I mean, they
Right.
go hand in hand. I don't say that you should be drinking the whiskey while you're fishing and maybe have a taste or two, but afterwards, I mean, there's no doubt fishermen, it's been a part of the up north area, whether you're Wisconsin, Michigan, all Minnesota, that's just whiskey's part of the culture up here. I mean, especially in the wintertime. I mean, whether you're, you finish up of a nice day of snowmobiling and that'll warm you up quick.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, anything outdoors, really. I mean, obviously, fishing is kind of, what we do. We're on the Betsy River, which is a great trout fishing stream. Obviously, ironfish, the name comes from the steelhead trout that are in the Betsy River and really all over this area. And that's kind of, where ironfish kind of came from. And you were talking about earlier, one of our mottos is, returning spirit to the origin. Just like the steelhead trout, they come up the rivers, they spawn, then they go out to Lake Michigan and live their life and come back to lay their eggs and, kind of do, come back to where they're from. They come back to the same river they were born on. Whiskey distilleries, were started on small farms. They had to, keep the grain going here and sustain their family. So bringing spirit back to the farm is kind of what we're doing too, which is pretty cool. So it's all kind of interconnected. It's what makes it exciting.
Oh, it's a great story.
Yeah, and that I always find branding is so important to whiskey. You can make some of the best whiskey there ever was, but if you don't brand it and get it and then know how to distribute it, it all has to work as a team. No, leave the speaker. It's fine. It's going to hang up. Anyways,
Just a little background music.
don't turn it off
Because down.
because we need it for the end. There we go. Anyways, see, that's the kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I can't get to those.
So it makes it real and human.
Yeah. So
Stuff on the farm, this type of stuff happens.
Yeah.
Trust me.
it's normal for nobody expects the highest quality. Although Knobs here is going to become my YouTube video editor and start taking over some of the stuff that I'm doing plus at the addition. So we've gotten large enough where
Somebody has to.
it's like with the 2 times a week and throwing in podcasts, it's like between 10 and 15,000 people a week. So and so it's kind of working out. And so what are we going to taste next? Who's going to be in charge of that one?
I think that's all Isaac.
Yeah.
That's all Isaac.
You're taking
the
us
man
on.
of the hour.
You're taking us on the river.
Yeah. Take us down the stream.
Yes, we have
The Mad Angler's Manifesto, which is the brand, and he wrote a manifesto.
Yeah. So
It's
he's
right there.
got several books, and Manifesto is one of the poems that he wrote that's touches all of us near and dear.
All right, so we kind of talked about the Haslett rye that we just harvested.
Yeah.
This is named Haslett Harvest, kind of in honor of that. So this one's a little bit different. You just tried the Mad Angler rye, which is 100% our own juice. And, we kind of talked about how we always waited for our own juice to come out and how we were using, source product in finishing casks to kind of propel ourselves forward. This is kind of the next step in, trying to become more and more, Michigan authentic, Ironfish authentic, our own stuff. So this is a blend using our own juice and also using some of that source product as well put together.
Okay, let's do it.
So we haven't been able to produce, harvest enough barrels to have our rye year round yet. And so what we really wanted to do is create a product that could be kind of our house rye when that wasn't available. And so that's what this is. And we have not yet released it. So outside of some of the
Sneak peeks for you guys.
Go
the
easy.
production
Go
staff
easy.
and our bar staff, you guys are the first to try.
Excellent.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate
that's
the honor.
amazing.
Yeah.
I almost bumped it.
Oh, man.
It's still counting.
Yeah.
That's picked up
Yeah,
some
that's
caramel.
Very sweet caramel, yeah.
You get the same notes that we, from the rye that we just had, but it's, it's a different type of sweetness in the back end. So,
Nice. Can't say I don't like that.
Oh, no, that's,
What is the flavor on the back end? What is that right there near the finish, but not quite?
it's minty.
I was gonna say, yeah, either like
I get like a little bit of honey sweetness that like.
Yeah,
then
I was just
plays
gonna
with that
say,
honey.
like a sweet mint.
it's
A toasted honey.
Yeah.
yes, it's a
Yeah.
honey. Mhm. Definitely a sweet honey
I'll go with toasted honey.
on the finish.
Well, see, this
With-
is
with a
where
little-
this is where
with a
the
little
tasting
bit of
notes really go
toast.
off the chart.
Yeah.
Honey Nut Cheerios.
Yeah,
Bit of
you
honey.
get the cereal.
Bit
I
of
got
honey
honey
is-
grams one day like hard. That was the only thing I could taste was honey grams.
And what'd you eat for the next 3 days for breakfast?
I went and bought a box.
And then you realize these are god awful
One of the,
I haven't
sweets,
had-
right?
one of the,
Yeah.
You didn't
one of
realize
the
how
other guys
sweet
on
they
the
are.
podcast, CT, he actually pairs different bourbons with cereal,
With sugar
where
cereal.
they actually pour
Oh,
Bourbon
BH
cereal?
Taylor on honey grams,
I'm not gonna go that
or
far.
he's had an RD1 Amberana, which he put on top of cinnamon toast crunch.
Yeah.
I mean, and-
or
Yeah,
in
no,
like a
in a
bowl?
Oh no,
in
in
a
a bowl on
So
top.
it's like no milk.
It's like
No
it's
milk.
just the whiskey,
Some
milk.
whiskey with some.
And
Whiskey
people
and
do exactly that face that Jeff just made, that cringe to watch him do it. But there's
Well,
been a
I can see
couple.
it. I can see it.
Well, they've done like Buffalo Trace with bourbon
like that
cream
one.
on top of Count Chocula
Oh,
or
that's
something.
different.
You
That
know,
would be
that,
good.
that was
That
actually
would actually
good.
be
You know what I
really-
mean? But I don't know.
I used to do that brewing beer. I would pour stout over cinnamon toast crunch.
You know, if you're
I
at
could
just
see that.
all
one.
I'm gonna say
Tastes good.
is at a distillery.
Milk
If
stout,
you
yeah.
don't take the grain off of the fermentation and eat it as oatmeal, then that is the ultimate breakfast
Yeah.
of what
The
of
distillers
distiller
will do it.
champions.
Yep.
I love that part. I mean, you just go in if it's there. They're like, take a sip. I could got a bowl.
Yeah. It smells so good.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it's almost like spearminty.
Mhm.
yeah, nice job.
But it's
Yeah.
really, that's a very nice product to be your,
So
like you said,
you
your
just take it in-
signature blend for now until you have your own. Right?
Yeah, Isaac's doing an
Yeah,
incredible
that's
job.
really,
Oh yeah, it's
What is the proof?
100.
Okay.
Oh, 100. That's
And now on the Mad Angler, was that
94.
94? I've had a couple.
And yet
There
this
was a
doesn't
called
taste
Mayday Rye, which
No,
was
higher fruit.
Doesn't taste like
146.
the
Yeah.
man drinks like it was
Yeah.
higher proof.
Mm-hmm.
Because it has
This
that
is
spice on
yeah.
it.
This is
Yeah, there's an extent that high proof is fun.
Well,
but
have you
sometimes
guys heard of the one? It's a Rare Character, which is a brand,
Mhm.
and now it's called this bottle that's just going crazy. It's called Exceptional Character, and it's like it's like $200 a pour at any bar or whatever.
Right.
It's like an expensive bottle. I got lucky and was able to taste it. It's 161 proof.
Holy
And
mackerel.
I was like treading. I couldn't believe it. I treaded very, very lightly on that one,
Yeah.
and it was actually fantastic.
Wow.
Probably
So-
a lot of depth. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and you can't. But no, you're not.
Yeah.
You're not drinking it. You're
Right.
you're sipping, and I got probably about a half ounce pour of it, and it probably took me about 45 minutes to.
Yeah.
Get through it.
Yeah. My liver was like, hey, knock that off.
yeah.
This is different. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the one thing I really respect about our ownership, especially David, who's kind of like the owner in charge of production, is that it's always what's best for the spirit. It's never, hey, if we release this 20 proof points higher, it's going to sell faster. It's, hey, let's give Isaac the ability to test at different proofs and really find where is the sweet spot for this product. This one happened to be 100.
I've talked to a lot of blenders and distillers, and honestly, there is. I mean, when Booker No and Jimmy Russell, and when they were putting out and tasting barrel strength, and they decided to put out barrel proof, they didn't want you to drink it barrel proof. They're like, you proof it down to what
What
you like.
Right.
They're like, they had no idea. They're probably rolling in there. Now Jimmy Russell's still here, but they were not thinking that people were going to just start drinking barrel proof consistently. I mean, there's some people that they just need the high proof, and I'm always of the there are some very eloquent whiskeys and bourbons at 80 proof.
Mhm.
You can get flavor. It's harder to do it. I mean, if you're at 120 to get body, you have to actually produce a bad whiskey to not really get that. You know what I mean? It's the body's just there, but to do it at 84 or 94 to get that body, that's a skill. And you know, but I've talked to many of them, and they say that there's a point as you come down where it's like it hits and then it's gone. So you kind of know what proof that the whiskey itself will define its proof, correct? I mean, I understand 100 proof because that's like marketing 100 proof. That's bottled in bond. That's where, but that's not always the sweet spot of every whiskey. Do you agree?
No, yeah, I mean, it really is important to just try the different ranges on everything you do, really, you know. Like you said, like going from 130 proof sometimes all the way down to 80, adding all that water to something can just be way too much of a cut, even though it's going to get you a much larger volume.
Oh, yeah.
It's, you know, you're
But yeah,
really diluting stuff down sometimes when you do that. But other times, if you take your time, make sure you're proofing it well, you know, sometimes you can hit something like that works well, you know. And I mean, like with this, we tried a lot originally because we also have an 85-15 bourbon. We were like, well, that was 88 proof, so let's see what this tastes like at 88 proof. And we kind of just all hated it.
we gotta go higher.
Yeah, we were like, okay, well, let's try it. Nope, not doing 80.
Yeah.
And so we were like, okay, well, let's just creep it up slowly. And we tried it, you know, at 100, 105, 10, 15, and we really settled on the 100 proof range just because that's what we all thought tasted best. You know, that's what we thought was what we should do.
It's very drinkable and enjoyable to drink.
Yeah.
So it's very enjoyable to drink. Just
But on the other side, we have a collaboration project coming out with a brewery where they aged beer in our whiskey barrels and then gave us the barrels back, and we put whiskey back in those beer barrels.
Oh, cool.
And there was a point where we're doing proof checks, and we really found that the best proof of that spirit was down at 82. And it was almost like, as we're tasting, I didn't want to admit that the 82 was the best because it was so, but at that proof, the beer, you know, kind of essence actually came through more.
Right.
And so both the beer and the spirit complemented each other at that lower proof, and you fully lost any beer flavors or essence at even 84, 86.
Well, that's where the skill of what you're doing, exactly what I'm talking about. And I always find the blender is always, it's not, you're the guy that's making the decisions, but you're definitely obviously going off of a team. And any distillery that you come, that's a good distillery. The team is something. Now, if you're dealing with a place that does a lot of single barrels and that type of thing, that's not always, you might have a single person helping out with that. But at the same time, I always find that the blenders that I've met that are very, very, it's blenders make and break the whole distillery. And honestly, people don't realize that even in your small batch, that's the blend. People don't look at that as like a whiskey blend. No, it's a blend of barrels to make up a batch that has to be marketable. I mean, if you just, it's not a spreadsheet. Right. It can't be a spreadsheet.
It's so much harder to do a small batch.
Oh.
You're not relying on 20 different barrels to pull percentages from.
100 or whatever.
So and most of our Matt Engler stuff is very small batch. So what Isaac's doing is unreal.
I agree. I think you guys, if anybody sees it on the shelf, you got to check the Mad Angler out. And the people, especially in Michigan, you guys are lucky because it's on the shelves, and there's no doubt. So what's next?
Let's see.
Are we going bourbon now, or are we going finished?
On the end, we have to say for the end.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Just right here.
You should put that down now.
Put it down.
Yeah, because it's blocking all of our faces.
Oh.
He's only trying to block mine.
No one's blocking yours, hon. You're the only reason why anybody's watching.
Yeah, right. It's true. So ugly guys like you.
So what are we on here?
Now we're doing the Mad Angler Bourbon. So
Alright.
kind of going along with the Mad Angler series and the Mad Angler Rye. We started off to try. Now we're switching over to the bourbon. 70% corn bourbon, 94 proof, also at the 6-year mark.
And if you look at that bottle, the Mad Angler bottle, it's got a embossed fish, correct?
Yep.
You're gonna use
Yeah,
that
it's,
one.
it's a custom mold
That's
made by
the one.
Burling Glass.
Can I just walk through over there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
Kick my shit down. Sorry, can I swear?
Yes.
I thought that was wait. You shouldn't have showed that. That sounded like an ironfish.
Yeah, they're jumping out of water.
Swimming upstream.
Yeah.
There we go.
I think everybody on Facebook and YouTube is really worse than.
Yeah.
They removed that rule too.
What rule?
The cursing rule on YouTube.
No,
It's
they
gone.
didn't.
Yes, they did.
You can curse in the first 8
The
minutes.
first 8 minutes, yes. They may have tried. I'm not sure if it's officially in effect, but I know that at least the first 30 seconds.
Is that because children don't have a?
It's because
Well, so
it's because of the
we've
new
been on,
age
we've been on
verification.
for more than a half hour, and my whole
That's a really nice
catch would be,
brown
what
sugar.
the shit?
Mhm.
That's what I say. I'm like, I'll be drinking something and then come out and it's just like, and I get,
We're past that 8-minute mark, anyways.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah. So now it's, but honestly, it's
These are
just
like-
real. Yeah,
It's
it's
like
an
grass,
awesome
grass
bottle.
house.
And the-
Yes.
It's just like
Okay.
There's
mountains,
the-
like a
So
mountain.
talk
Some
about
grassy,
Mountains?
So I think this is the first time I've
I
had the
think
Mad
it's the-
Angler
it's this
bourbon.
That's the.
I had the Manifesto, but the bourbon, and it's a
It's
6-year
It's like
also.
the rocky bottom of
It's
the
a 6-year
river.
bourbon.
It's the
It's
rocky
a 4
bottom?
grain, so we do have
It's
wheat,
a river
rye,
bottom.
corn, barley in here.
Switch that around. Switch it around.
Look,
Because
it's
people don't want to see the
We're
back.
trying to
of
figure
the
out
sand.
what this is, like the rocky
The
river
sand.
bottom? The
Or is
sand
it-
or the,
I thought it
It's a
was-
farm.
Yeah, I thought it was the barn.
It's
and
the barn?
the rick
Oh, okay.
houses and the.
okay, it could be many things.
Yeah, it could be anything you
Yeah.
want.
It's
whatever you
whatever
want.
fits your
Yeah.
palate.
Well, what it
Depends how
does
many
We
drinks
like
you
fancy bottles.
throughout the night, it changes
Yeah.
depending on how low the bottle
Oh,
is. Nice.
Angle you're looking at it.
So talk about the bourbon. You
The Mad
this
Angel.
is sourced. It's
Yummy.
which barrels is it going into? Coming from?
So
Or just
for the most part, this is coming out of our Icon barrels, but some of them are those Crow's Nest built in Michigan as well.
So it's Mad Angler. What's the really coolest thing is like when you're fishing, right? It's not
I
even
like
any.
toasted stuff.
It's like when you're fishing, you might be fishing for trout, but you catch a walleye, or you might be fishing, or you get really lucky and get a muskie.
Yeah.
You know, but I've seen all of it. So it's the same thing with this. When you're going in, you got no rules about what you're gonna do, right? You're just kind of like the mad scientist on this brand.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, really, it is just about going in and finding quality. You know, like you said, what we're gonna pull up from the bottom of the river is whatever is in the barrels. So
Yeah.
we go through. We have a big philosophy about tasting everything that comes out of a barrel before it goes into a bottle. So when we're doing blends and trying to figure that out, we have a team taste through everything. Everyone gives their input, and we really try to find, what's going to work together well and sort out the stinkers and put in the good ones.
Well,
So-
this year we did there was one restraint that it had to be a 6-year blend. So that did shrink down the amount of barrels he was
That
able
you
to
could
choose
use.
from.
But
Yeah.
now, do you use? Okay, obviously, people when you're blending, 6 is the youngest. So what's the oldest that do you have anything higher in those, or is it you
This
just
was all 6 years.
all
Okay.
6 year?
So yeah, we're so young. Like, we don't really have a big stock of older barrels. I mean, in 10 years from now, yeah, maybe that is the case. Maybe there's some 8, maybe there's some 6 or whatever. But yeah, we're just we kind of have what we have right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I understand
Yeah,
that.
for 6 year at least. Yeah. But we do have a lot of 5, 4 year. The next couple of years we have some. Our ammunition definitely.
Well,
fills up.
also with source barrels, one of the things that a lot of people do is they'll get the source barrel. Either you rebarrel it or you let it keep going, right? So that then you
Yeah.
can add
Make it
in
roll
5.
faster.
You might get something 5-year, 4-year source, and then all of a sudden before you know it, it's 9 years.
Yeah.
So we have some older source whiskey, but all of our Mad Angler, That's
Oh, that no,
100%
yes,
agree.
yes,
Anything
that's
Mad Angler.
yeah. Man Angler is all your and honestly,
So this reminds me of something toasted,
Yeah,
like a
there's some
toasted barrel. It has a nice toasted note. to it.
look at
So
the.
if you like toasted
Now, what's the
barrels,
proof on this?
You
Because
would
there's
like
no way that this is.
94.
I was gonna say,
Hey,
See, you
That's what I
nailed.
was
Look at
gonna
this.
guess.
See,
I was
look
gonna
at the
say.
look at the legs on that.
yeah, I was gonna say it's got to be 90 plus because it's got really nice.
No, I was
nice
gonna.
legs.
I was gonna think it night. Yeah, that.
No, it doesn't.
I love
finish
that
like It's
bottle.
a higher.
It's good to hear.
Very good.
I think I've been here. This is my 4th time, and every single time I've gotten
That's what you get.
Got bourbon.
yeah,
On
got
the-
the Mad
yeah.
Angler bourbon.
Go-to.
Go-to, yeah. It's like I get a flight. I can try 3 others, but that one I'm
Yeah.
sticking with.
Yeah, I drink all of that.
Hey,
All right.
It's Friday.
Hey,
It
It's a
is,
Friday.
and I'm on
Yeah.
vacation finally.
It's a
Well, yeah,
vacation Friday.
Oh.
and we got this to actually record.
yes.
And
Yeah.
so once I started recording,
That's enough to
You know,
celebrate
Woohoo!
too.
I-
right?
Cheers, it
it's
worked.
funny because coming up and we're on vacation, but I knew that this is going to be a common stop for me because whenever I come up to see, I see my son, but he's got a 2-year-old grandson, so
Mhm.
that's what we're here
He's
for.
very cute.
But no,
Yeah.
but I also recruited
He
him.
looks exactly
might, you
like
know-
Seth at
Yeah,
2 years old.
spitting image, huh?
No, like a clone. He's a clone.
Got them strong jeans,
They
Curly
are.
hair and all.
curly hair,
Oh
the
yeah, big
curliest.
mop. Like a big, he used to have a big
She
mop.
showed
Yeah, where'd that go?
That's gone now.
Did you really just do that?
In front of everyone.
What the shit? Man. Yeah.
Wait, I could tell you all something that'd be really, I mean, maybe kind of gross, but also kind of funny.
So, anyways, we
No,
got
wait, you gotta hear it. Is that
That'd be
when,
awesome.
when the island separated from the mainland and we finally like buzzed the whole thing, I have it at home in a Ziploc bag.
It was long,
It was-
like
it
yours.
was- if you pull
I-
these curls down, they went to his
There
butt
was a
cheeks.
point
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
it was like
'Cause they were
curly, and I
ringlets.
just let it go, and then there was enough up there, but it was like that, and then it's like, look, it's Jesus.
So why the Ziploc bag?
I don't know, I just couldn't bear to get rid of those gorgeous
gorgeous
curls. I mean,
locks.
they were
Are
insane.
they on display or like in a
No,
drawer?
they're just in.
Yeah, it's
I
framed.
have like a hope chest.
With
I
his
mean,
high
and they're
school
in there.
jersey.
Wait,
and
yeah,
then-
yeah.
Like an Earth.
So
Yeah.
So
so
everybody wants
I
to
don't
see
wanna- don't move.
tiny curls. They're on
There's a
Seth's head. That's it. Right
yeah,
there.
that's
There you
it.
go.
That's
That
it.
was the exact
So
same
long.
hair.
You basically have it on display. There's that picture of the shirtless
if you
picture of
look
you in
around
the.
here, this is what it's right there, that picture. I can show you a bigger one,
Nice.
whatever. That's me at 17.
Sometimes you have to give up some.
I thought I was
secrets
Jim
and
Morrison.
Some fun
Right.
personal stuff, right?
Right. No. Anyways, in my other old art career, right?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So we're gonna keep going, right?
Yeah, let's go.
So do you got anything finished over there?
Yeah.
Because you guys are talking about that finishing thing, and you guys have done like I said, anybody who's coming in the area, if you're up here in northern Michigan, up in Thompsonville, which is the what is it, Mackinac Island, and it's like the and then you're by
Traverse City.
Traverse City, and you're right on the lake. It's right by the lake in Michigan. It's the best part of Michigan.
Sweet Bear Sand Dunes, 30 minutes away.
Yeah,
Sleeping
yeah.
Bear.
But if you're
So
up
many
here,
small little coastal towns.
this is a
Frankfurt.
day visit. You visit them, come here, restaurant. They've got a bar. There's activities going on all the time. If there's something going on here a lot, right? Plus,
Yeah.
then you got the whiskey club,
Oh, yeah.
which we're going to talk about in a couple minutes after we try this one.
Try this.
Yeah.
Are we
so-
opening this bottle?
Yes, we are.
Ooh, we got a fresh
So-
crack.
This is from our finishing series. It is sourced rye whiskey finished in Scotch barrels, and it is at barrel strength too. So fresh crack, barrel strength.
Yeah, so we grabbed that off the back shelf because you are the Scotchy Bourbon boys.
Yeah.
Hey.
There's
I
got to be some
appreciate
sort of
that.
Scotchy reference. when you
No,
try
no
from us.
problem. I always like I like ryes and bourbons in Scotch barrels because that, most Scotches. So it's probably a bourbon barrel that they put Scotch in.
Yeah, right.
First,
And then
yeah.
put
And then it came back.
So we're talking bourbon and a double.
Smell that.
This is the triple use. So you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
So, yeah, at least
And-
use, minimum. Yeah.
Are you
That's
allowed to
nice.
say
It's
what
not
type
very
of Scotch it
fruity.
was, or is that a non-disclosure aspect?
We're not supposed to, but it rhymes with A Gloovlin.
Rhymes with
That- yeah.
this.
That's what, I mean, one thing I really like about this one is
Hell.
like,
It's a new catchphrase.
you don't expect
What the shit?
what the shit? Like you expect like the Scotch to be, you know, like smoky, big, intense, but like,
Oh,
you really
no,
get the
but it's
smokiness,
just-
you just get
it's
some really great
just a-
complexity.
Yeah, it's just a little bit.
Yeah.
That is very nice.
Yeah, it takes
Mhm.
away the iodine and the, you know,
Mhm.
just.
How old was the rye?
4-year on
Oh,
this
yeah.
one. Yeah.
That's very unique.
I'm gonna
I
tell
almost
you,
wanna
you
chew
know
it.
what you're doing with rye.
Yeah.
Don't do the dill stuff. Although no, actually do the dill stuff.
People like
But
that.
just don't let me. Yeah, because there's some people who absolutely love that kind of rye. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not like Bullet Rye doesn't sell.
It's just the rye that we use, yeah.
Yeah, but okay, the finish.
No,
you
this
get
is a
that
different level.
Scotchy
This
smoke
this
on
is
the
more of
finish.
a.
though.
This is
But
more of
it's something,
that.
one
there's
of
something
our
else. There's like an
flagship
into
series.
something.
How did that
just
end up?
place.
Oh, because you were using.
It's a sweet.
It's like a cigar.
Because that's almost like
It's
a
like a
Mad
cigar.
Angler
It's a
thing.
cigar.
It's a tobacco
It's
sweet.
close.
This would
That's
be,
what I'm
this would be
getting.
very good with cigars.
Did you put any of the Mad Angler in some Scotch barrels?
Have we? No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
We
Stay
haven't quite
tuned.
had enough to play with yet.
Yeah, you don't want,
Yeah.
you don't
Right,
want to.
next couple of years, man.
Yeah, we're putting away a lot of
That's-
barrels.
Yeah, this would be very good.
This
cigar.
is one of those, you know, a lot of people, and this was a single barrel, so this is almost 120 proof, 119.
Martin would love this, by the way. You should get him a bottle there.
But
I
it
don't
is
know
one
if
of
there's
those.
a bottle
Martin,
left,
Martin,
is
you
there?
would love this.
Is it for sale still or no?
So this is one we only send out in the market
Okay.
as a single barrel, and it is one of those that's a little bit harder to figure out, you know, what liquor store, what, you know,
God, this
place
would go
is
good
going to
with
bring
this.
it in.
Yeah, which fan base could
Would it-
actually.
have you smoked a cigar with this?
No,
I
Martin,
have,
Martin
I
would love
have.
this. He would.
But it is just one of those that I think it scares people a little bit, and then everyone we see try it
Oh, no.
is
it's-
just blown away by
Yeah,
it.
it's,
Yes.
And I'm like,
It's-
you know,
that
If
is-
you put it in people's hands, they're gonna be like.
I mean, how many
Wow.
ryes have been
Yeah.
aged in a Scotch barrel? I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
that's
a
just
great
not.
point.
That's like a unheard of thing.
and you wouldn't really know, I mean, if you didn't.
Cheers to
you
breaking
just drank
the
it
rules.
blind.
Yeah,
You- I
yeah.
would never
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, break the rules.
you
more
drive down that dirt road long enough,
And that's-
rattle
And
you
that's
crazy.
craft. That's craft distillery.
Mhm.
That's a craft distillery,
It's
and I mean,
I
a
didn't know
testament
this
to your
was a
ownership.
thing,
Because not a lot, you know, I've been at craft distilleries where the
I know
ownership
that's-
is,
but-
you know,
I think that's my
they might
favorite
do
bottle
some
so far.
experimental
My
stuff, but
favorite one. I
overall they're
tasted so
trying
far.
I
to,
don't like
they're,
cigars.
you know,
No, I
it
don't
depends.
either, but I like
But you
smoky
guys,
drinks.
like I said, I from a standpoint of what I love as far as in whiskeys and bourbons and scotches, I love the whole package. I did not know the Mad Angler came in a wooden box with 2 bottles, and was that released to the whiskey
That
club?
was a special.
So
Kyle's that's Kyle's brainchild.
That's
His baby.
No.
That's his baby.
I was gonna say bucks 18 of 18. So.
But it was built out of exactly what you were just saying. We have an ownership group that doesn't really allow their ego to get in the way of creativity and experimentation and allowing the people that work for them to shine. So David, again, our owner that's kind of in charge of production, went to Isaac with this idea of Manifesto being anything the team wants it to be.
Oh,
Any barrel on the farm can be used as part of that blend. And to me, that's unheard of.
Well, that's also it's a challenge.
yeah.
Absolutely.
It's almost.
I'm sure it doesn't
When
suck.
he first said that, he's probably like, "Shit, that's scary."
Yeah.
Because you know, if you're talking about all different types of things, you know, and just anybody, I got to taste it. I have my own bottle of Manifesto. I kind of got at the tail end, and I'm going to tell you, it's a Mexican salsa delight. Like
Right.
I've actually had. We did the thing, but I've actually eaten corn chips and then had a sip, and it's almost substituting for the salsa. I mean, it's such a cool taste of what whiskey can be. You know, when it comes to bourbon, you nailed it there. It's got that big caramel and whatever, and you guys are doing a good job on that. And I don't think any craft distillery should be competing with Kentucky, especially if you're in Michigan. You should be putting your own Michigan stamp on it.
Yeah.
And there's no, I mean, Iron Fish, but then you do the Mad Angler. I mean, you took it one level next. I mean, and then you throw in artwork of a great poet. I mean, it's just like, it's the whole package.
Yeah.
Plus, then you put it in a wooden box. And just so you know,
Handmade.
what I got into bourbon for when I first started getting into it, I had, even though Jack Daniels is bourbon, but Tennessee, I've had Jim Beam. I had just some of the Wild Turkey or whatever. But what really got me into it was, first it was Rare Breed from Wild Turkey, but it was Booker's.
Yeah.
And Booker's comes in a box. It's the whole packaging. You know what the worst thing you can do to a whiskey is you can make it a Costco brand. Because that takes away all the marketing, and I'm not into. I don't want to get my whiskey at Costco.
Yeah,
I
what's
want
the story there?
Right.
Yeah.
Even though it might be 1792, from Barton's, okay, and it's good. But when I'm sitting on my back porch, I want the box, and I want to think about fishing. I want to think about that big fish I caught, 10 years ago that was this big and went to that big, but that's the whole thing about it. And then you guys are up here, you offer, anybody can stop by here on their fishing trip, pick up a bottle of Mad Angler before they go, and that's what they can drink throughout their fishing trip, right?
Drinking whiskey is like listening to records. There's like a tactical, there's a feel to it.
Yeah.
And it takes you back, and you want that. You want that story. And again, with that manifesto, David gave Isaac the ability to use anything in the rick houses to throw that together. And he worked incredibly hard at it. And there's 7 different barrels that went into this blend. And he nailed it.
How many barrels did you taste through before you narrowed it down to
All
the 7?
of them.
2014.
Yeah.
My calculator's not really working.
So you were pulling all the barrels for him?
No. When he was working on that blend specifically, I had just started here maybe 2.5 months.
Okay.
And so the reason this one,
Someone else was getting tortured.
well, he would, during those 2 months, he would come up and be like, guys, I need a liver. We come try. But he's pulling his own samples, and he's blending, and he's pulling people in. But during that process, he had, kind of created his blend. There was one barrel that had a few gallons in it. At the time, he thought maybe 5 gallons, and he didn't really know what to do with it. You don't want to leave just 5 gallons in a barrel. And so he asked my opinion, and I was still just a couple of months on the job, still trying to figure out what the hell I was doing. And I was like, I don't know, let's taste it. Pull it out, let's taste it, and then go from there. And when he did, this whole Dead Man whiskey idea was born. A few weeks prior, I had seen the book cover from Michael Delp that said the confluence of the Dead Man and the Mad Angler. And it had this very image of this man walking through a dark forest. And I thought, man, 5 years from now, it'd be really cool if we had a whiskey called Dead Man. So
there it is.
There it
So
is.
no, I've never tasted Dead Man yet.
Yeah.
So
I know we're not open to that
Yeah,
one, but I get it.
So, but the cool thing again is that barrel was discovered because it was the foundation of the Manifesto blend. There was only what wound up being roughly 3 gallons left because it was the majority of it was used in the Manifesto. But the second we tried it, I was like, dude, this is that Dead Man thing. And then we were like, how are we going to get our ownership group to agree to release 18 bottles? Like, that's something just not going to, the time and effort. And so it wound up being
Just
a
the
2
label.
bottle. Yeah. So, which wound up being, it's brushed aluminum. It's a super cool thing.
Well, I mean, you can go further with it, right?
So now that we know, hey, this is a really cool thing that could be tied, and it helps tell the story of the Manifesto, that the blend is built from here and becomes this is super cool. And then, we had a whiskey club member did all of the laser engraving on that box. That's all done in-house.
Beautiful.
And again, I don't know many ownership groups or management groups that would have heard this crazy ass idea from Isaac and I and allowed us to do it.
Sure, do
You know,
18.
and
Well, but at the same time, it's obvious. And then, I mean, it's not like you were running out thousands of barrels out on it and
Yeah.
whatever, and they were, I mean,
We were like,
there was
"Please,
18 of 18.
3
You
gallons."
did it, and you have obviously the 18th is right here for you guys and to show off and whatever. But at the same time, now a brand is born,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which,
cool.
which is a
moving
challenge
forward-
to keep going forward. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
you probably want to make it a little bit more than 18 bottles
Yeah,
next
yeah.
time. You know what I mean?
Well, there are some years where it might not exist at all.
Right? No,
Yeah.
that's no. I mean,
Yeah,
even
so-
if you look at the 1 year, I think it was Pappy Van Winkle, the 15 year, they just and same thing with George C. Said, they just said there's not
Yeah.
enough. You
Yep,
got to wait.
Not this time.
Right.
Next year.
That just you're dealing with people my age, and we want what we can't have.
Yeah.
And that's the key. I mean, that's part of it. What
Yeah.
we can't have, we're always trying to taste or to go along
Then
with
you
it.
deal with people my age that has whatever he could get.
and he's happy with that. No, do you have questions?
No, I don't have any.
Come on, it's Roxy.
Roxy,
I
question
actually,
time.
I do have a question. So for this bottle, there was a little bit of like almost dryness right at the tip of my mouth.
Which one?
The
Ryan Scotch.
The Ryan Scotch.
barrels.
But nowhere else. I don't know what that's called.
Scotch.
That's just
Yeah,
Scotch.
Scotch.
Okay,
Yeah.
just right at the tip, it's dry.
Yeah,
Okay.
Scotches are notorious that first taste isn't sweet. That's what you're noticing.
Well, but it
This
is sweet though.
But this is your bourbon. All bourbons on the front end pick up that sweetness of caramel. That's where you're picking up your caramel. Then you hit mid to back palate. But a Scotch will always not. That Scotch isn't about sweetness. You know what I mean? It's about. I think Scotches are complexity. They try and just make the most complex whiskeys, and so I think that's what you're dealing with. Is that's where the influence is. Then it goes sweet on mid palate. You pick up a lot of that,
Yeah.
but the taste right off the top, it's just
Well,
what you're
as
doing.
someone who's not had a lot of bourbon, clearly, probably more than the average
And
26-year-old,
and
but
almost no Scotch.
and almost no Scotch. That just stands out the most to me.
Almost no Scotchy Bourbon.
No.
So you've alluded to the club many times, or talk about the club a little bit.
We're
You
joining.
said, well, there's only a few slots
Well, I
left.
think
So
aren't I
now
joining?
it's
Well,
an
yeah,
exclusive-
he's gonna be
Yeah,
big
I'm the
shot.
local.
yeah, it's an exclusive club now because there's like 3 slots left. But
Yeah, so it's a 200 people. We limit it, and we limit it by the number of, what's our normal average single barrel, because we don't want to,
Over.
offer something that we don't can actually do. It's $350 a year. You get 3 special bottles. They're all always something that's totally unique, something special. We haven't released before. Like our second release this year was a whole new mash bill that we've never released before, which is pretty exciting, and a different rye whiskey mash bill. And some single barrel, some stuff that we haven't done before. So it's kind of like get in before the everyone else have it, type thing.
Awesome.
But again, some great blends from Isaac as well, some different stuff. So
Yeah.
we do that. We do 3 parties. We do release
I was gonna
parties
say,
every
yeah,
year. Every time we release, our next one is our birthdays on Labor Day, or anniversary, I should say. So that's our 3rd release of this year. We got a really unique single barrel. Is this single barrel? Or is it just blend? Actually,
It's a blend finished in music.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Mizunaro finished one.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we're really excited about that. We did buy a barrel. Those things are expensive.
Yeah, isn't that-
Yeah,
They are.
Japanese oak, but it does lend such a unique flavor.
Did
It's
you
really
send
fun
now
to
that
try.
you dumped the barrel? Did you send it to the brewery?
Oh no, we put more whiskey in this. We've used it, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 times.
We're on
now.
the 6th fill.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and probably some more to go. There's that. The whiskey hill parties. Where we come. There's some drinks, some cocktails, some food, entertainment. Tours, stuff like that. And then you get your normal discounts on your day-to-day, and if you're a local Ironfish. So
Yeah.
it's just cool. Just try it before you buy it. It supports the brand. It supports and not just that, just the community in Northern Michigan of the whiskey drinkers. You get to talk with other people who are into whiskey around here. And, that's pretty important too. We all like to talk with like-minded people and see what's going on. What did you try? What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But they also get to be on the forefront of what we're doing. they'll be the first one to try any of our Musinara finishes.
Right.
Which, as Isaac just said, we're on number 6. So they'll get the taste of kind of what's coming down the road next year, 2 years, stuff like that.
What's next?
What's next?
What are we tasting?
Well,
Yeah, you should probably grab some
that's,
on the right.
yeah.
How important it is.
Yeah, poor
Should be
guy.
special stuff.
When we're doing special stuff, what?
You know it's special when there's no label. It's just a
Yeah.
bright yellow
Yeah.
shipping label.
Yeah.
2 special things I want you guys to try. We're going to start with this one. So this is a sample bottle from a blend, or I guess project, that is currently in process right now. This is going to be a blend of only Mad Angler whiskeys, only our own juice. It can be any of the Mad Anglers that we have. And we are experimenting with a new process, well, newer to us, slow proofing in the barrel. So these are whiskeys that we are doing slow water reduction in the barrel to,
Which is
try to
common
bring
for
out-
brandies, I believe, right?
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
France,
Yeah.
that's a normal, yeah.
You don't want to get it soapy.
So-
But it's really, industry now. A lot of people are experimenting with it. Everybody's got their own method. Isaac has developed our method of using IV bags. And it is,
How interesting.
After tonight, I might need an eye.
Yeah.
it is awesome. He had to ask
Somebody's
for
gotta
him
drive
twice
home.
because the first time I thought, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, sure.
And then we did it, and it's working really well.
Well, do you have one that's dripping right now?
Yeah,
There
yeah,
are
go
12.
slow.
Oh, so I'll do a. That
Yeah,
one
video
is
it.
a
Yeah.
definite
cool.
promotional.
It's you
short.
walk up to it, you're like, what is
What's
happening?
going on over here? Yeah.
Barrel's on life support.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the name? What's the name of someone? What is Randy for
A
someone?
phlebotomist?
Yes. So do you have phlebotomists come in and
Phlebotomists.
actually insert the IV?
Those people that draw.
Yeah.
Well, Londonist is
Slow
really good.
blend of it.
A blend
Well,
of this?
blend it.
Nice.
There you go.
All right.
We're adding that to your title.
Yeah, I've texted you now. So
Flex, yeah.
Yeah, get that
Yeah.
in writing
Yeah.
somewhere.
So write that down.
Let's go out of this business.
Tomorrow morning you'll be like, what was
What was the thing we said that was cool?
The one thing I can say about everything I tasted, when I initially tasted this, it's got to be like 4 years ago,
Yeah.
or three years ago, right at the time when you probably were starting.
You
you've been
tasted
here now
before
3
I
years,
moved
right?
here?
4 years now,
Yeah,
For instance.
you know what I.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, I was
we used to
wondering.
we did a quick. There was an aspect of the youth of the whiskey, and there's not one thing I tasted tonight
Ooh.
that tells me that the whiskey is not ready to be drank. Okay, everybody has different palates, like straight across, but at the same time, the maturity of your whiskey, the quality of your whiskey, there's no flaws, and the spectrum of what we're tasting, I can guarantee anybody who comes here or buys, there is something for everybody here.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one kind of cool thing about it.
Yeah, we definitely have a wide spectrum. That's we kind of joke in the production area that we have a problem saying no to projects and new cool, fun, exciting things.
That's
I don't know that it's we, but yes, there is a problem that exists.
Fair point.
But
Fair point.
production and especially our blenders, they figure it out. It's rare that something is brought to these guys and they don't knock out of the park.
I would say this is your most everything is specific and compact and tight. Like a lot of times when you drink whiskey, it's kind of like there's so much happening and there's a lot of stuff. It's abstract almost what's going on. This focuses straight in and then stays focused throughout the pour. And there's the honey aspect on it.
Yeah.
There's a really nice honey aspect to it.
Yeah.
The vanilla on the front, and then there's that. But
That
it's
little
the
toasty
body
finish
is
that-
fantastic, and then your finish on this, wow. I mean, it's there. And it's like, this is the last thing I'm going to be drinking, I imagine I'll like in about an hour, I'm going to be like, oh my God, I can still taste that.
Yeah.
Nice
It's still
finish.
evolving. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super important for us, and as has been leading this charge, like, it's not just, the whiskey, it's the full drink, from when it's in the glass before, all the way through.
Well-
And everyone kind of says that, but like, we want that full feel and complexity. all
You
the way
also
through.
have to, the whiskey sometimes, you got to think of cocktails and you got to think of other things because, it's Jim Beam, just straight Jim Beam. It doesn't sell 17 million cases with people drinking it neat.
Right.
It's in cocktails, and then that's important that you have that full line so that you have that whiskey that just goes really well into your cocktails. And you guys have a great bar here with really good cocktails.
Well, even like beyond the whiskey and bourbon, the gin is really good here. And what's the vodka berry soft parade? My wife loves that. Like it's, for everyone who doesn't like bourbon and whiskey, there is other options that are still really good being produced here.
Yeah, we try to, again, it's hard to say no, but,
Yeah.
but also it's a hell of a lot of fun to make gin. Like
Mhm.
honestly, like mixing the botanicals and finding like that right, Kyle can talk about
And you
our
guys are
distillers
growing them right here.
Oh, yeah, I'd shoot on the tree out there.
Yeah.
That was an experience my first time.
Mhm.
Just chew on it.
Yeah.
It's citrusy, right?
Yeah.
You're like, what?
Here's this Christmas tree. Take a bite.
Yeah. Oh, there is some orange there.
Yeah, we're not using this, but just try it right now.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. So we got one more, right? Because we're winding down now.
All right.
What are you doing? Is this a
It's a
combo?
Wapatui.
A Wapatui?
No,
Yeah.
it's an
Shot
infinity.
It's an infinity
Infinity
glass,
glass.
so it's
She's-
what I
she's-
glass.
Well,
Are
what
you
did
gonna drink this
call
at the end?
no.
Wapatui. If you don't,
Who's
you've heard of
drinking
that?
at the
No,
end?
you're too
Mitch,
young,
It
right?
sounds familiar, but not.
Wapatui was 80s thing when you went to college, and everybody just brought
A
some
bottle
sort
of
of
something.
hard liquor.
it's
It
the
couldn't- it
Jungle
wasn't
Cup.
beer.
Jungle juice.
Yeah, it's the
And-
jungle
Jungle
juice.
And then you just dumped it in a giant vat.
Yeah,
I
Jungle-
don't-
Wapatui.
I
This
don't
is the
think of
Wapatui.
jungle juice.
This is
I don't
the
know about this jungle
bourbon
juice
version
thing.
of a Borg.
No, it's infinity. It's an infinity glass. There's no
I'm
doubt.
gonna get a
You
Wapatui.
can call it whatever
bringing
you want.
the-
I'm
I'm
bringing
bringing
a
young
young
Solaris.
Solaris.
I'm telling you what it
We just
is.
dated ourselves.
Yeah.
Everybody our age is like, oh yeah,
What, my
Wapatui.
I don't think you guys are trying to. Yeah.
No.
I'd go more with jungle juice. All right, what do we got?
Another little
All right.
sample bottle.
So
Oh,
we already brought up the first manifesto. This is Manifesto Addendum.
Ah,
that's going to be the
Manifesto
name,
Addendum.
addendum.
That's what I'm calling it.
Yeah, so instead
Well, I
of
think-
like
I
batch
think you
one,
should.
batch two, he's
No,
gonna
call
add.
it addendum.
When you did, how many different blends did you do before it?
Before
This was one of 7 different blends that reached to the end of the
Yeah.
ones that I actually created. So
And they all had a name,
I think you should call it Manifesto Hook and Sinker.
Hook, line, and sinker.
fish.
That's what
I
this
like-
could be. Hook, line, and
I like
sinker.
addendum. I am most excited about this.
Oh, I am too.
It's that first
Thank you, sir.
manifesto.
Speaking of fish, here's a cute little bass I caught off the coast.
Nice. That's a good one.
It's just a little
Like,
one, but
she has-
it's not
she
that little
has-
fish. I
That's
can
not
catch
that
some fish.
little.
No, that's little for me.
Yeah, sorry.
Little
I
for,
came a few
little for
weeks
the little
ago
for,
when I
little
heard
for
that
the pressure
manifesto
in,
was out.
in our
This
family.
girl-
to-
I was
to
genuinely
fish.
sad.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, that's a little one. Throw that one back.
Yeah. Jeez.
Well, if I'm fishing with her, she's cleaning them.
Yeah.
She's,
do.
I get out of all the hard stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta think about this. The nose is
Oh,
way
yeah.
toasted. Way more
it's-
toasted
yeah,
than the.
It's lighter, sweeter, but more
Ooh,
rounded.
that's
Yeah.
But not in a heavyweight. just
It's a
rounded
little
like
bit less of that Tabasco that the first one had, but
Yeah.
it still has that hint of it.
What the shit?
There it is.
Yes. I wanted a genuine one.
So there's no.
much more like
So
this
there's
was
the-
like a port almost. It
there's
was like
the-
a port
There's
you
the
know. taste finish.
the pepper spice at the end on the finish without the tomatoey aspect. I'm not saying the other one, but without the salsa aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
But you've replaced it with.
Almost like a sweet. Yeah.
Is there more bourbon in this one?
There's more barrels.
More
More
barrels.
barrels, yeah.
Oh,
Maybe a little bit more rye.
it's honey.
No, I was gonna say this is more rye than the last
It's a
one.
honey.
Much
It's
more
a
rye
wait.
barrels.
If you had to
It's a
name the
honey
batch, you
scone.
could call it honey jalapeno. There's honey on it,
Hot
and
honey.
there's just that little bit of
See,
that.
that is,
So
it is-
hats off to the second batch
I don't
because
know what's
yeah.
up with my. I don't get like that hot jalapeno at all.
You don't get the Tabasco at the
No,
end? No,
not
that
at
little,
all.
like
It
almost like
just finishes like
a black pepper.
that's
almost.
probably because you're allergic to pepper, and so
yeah.
you
You
just
don't have a good.
you just
No,
so
I
you
just-
don't in bourbon. There's not actually pepper in this. There's not one jalapeno
No,
that ever
I'm
touched
just saying,
these
I don't
barrels.
get that at all.
No, I totally get that. The essence of a jalapeno, not the greenness. No, and there's no salsa aspect of it, but you still get that peppery aspect
It's
on
more dark fruity to me.
No, do you get the on the first batch? Did you get that little bit of salsa aspect on it, or
I mean,
no?
it's
But like
the
it
very
also wasn't the
first
word that I
sip
described
Feel
is-
it
the
as.
is-
finish.
is
Feel the
gotta-
finish.
Honestly,
in your mouth.
I think it was about 2
Nothing
weeks
at
ago.
all.
I was looking for
No.
Manifesto
When you
reviews.
swallow
I
it,
believe
it's
you
that
have a video
first
on the
fire
first
comes
Manifesto.
through.
This
And
is
then-
salsa.
fire.
Yeah, and then when
I
you
get
said
that
salsa,
fire.
I was like, damn. I wish I had a bottle I
And-
wasn't
and-
keeping
and-
that
my-
sealed. 'Cause I
my
want to
mouth
try that again right now.
Oh,
But-
yeah.
But
Sure.
they'd have contacted me. I would have brought my bottle.
I can drink really.
No, for
Yeah.
me, like I said,
Spicy.
I actually ate it with chips,
That's
and it was
spicy, but it's
really
spicy. It's
good.
really
Spicy.
tasty.
Well,
I
that's the
mean,
thing
and there's
about
not
balance.
many
I mean, just on the
freaking
first
bourbons
sip.
I'm
On the
drinking with
first sip,
chips.
it's
It's usually
spicy.
tequila
Then
or
finish
you know what
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean.
It's
So
all spicy.
it was kind of a cool experience.
That's
But
also
it's
you
a
don't
little
ever
black
see
pepper.
salsa
I mean, I
described
get the
that way
black
on
pepper
a
rice.
flavor wheel.
A little bit of smoke.
You know,
It's
So
not.
Yeah.
you need people that are trying as much stuff as you are to make that connection. You know, we joked earlier when I was like, "Oh, this tastes like honeygrams." You don't necessarily see that on a flavor wheel, and that might unlock something for somebody
The
else.
flavor wheel
The second you said
that's out.
salsa earlier, I was
Yeah. No,
That is it.
I can see
Yeah,
it for
like
sure.
what the shit? Yeah.
like, like it makes sense. Like I wouldn't have made that connection on my own. But when you said it, it just it
I mean, I can actually
involved.
I actually have that manifesto in my head.
Yeah.
I know what that tastes like. It's so unique. I've had a couple other ones, but that one, it's like, and that's what I love about bourbons and whiskeys. There's just there's the classic flavors. I love caramel and I love vanilla,
Yeah.
so I'm in on bourbons. I don't have to work hard on bourbons to find ones that I like at all.
Right.
But
No.
ryes, I had to work my butt off. But
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys are doing, but you're just all kicking ass on rye
Mhm.
Yeah.
because I mean this is like
No.
the 15
Well, it's
straight
funny
rye.
because those the gentlemen that were here when we got here, as they left, they said, the rise, you'll love the rise.
Yeah.
And so, I think that's just
I mean,
I mean, rye's a northern Michigan staple, or sorry, northern anything staple. I mean,
Anything,
yeah.
well,
so,
yeah, because you're talking about a heartier wheat and you're north. I mean,
Mhm, that likes the
Pennsylvania
cold
is
and-
known for it, but you're just talking about that Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin's
Yeah.
not known for their grains.
Yeah.
For
Minnesota's got some
Yeah,
great
yeah.
found north.
Mhm.
Doing some really great things with rye, and it's just the unique profile, and I think as things go, what grains are grown where, and the
I
climates
shouldn't.
are such
You
a
know,
thing,
he's-
right?
There'll be more later.
he doesn't have the stamina that we do.
all right, so are we finished, or is there one more, or is that it?
Oh, I think that's
Is
pretty
that a
good.
single barrel?
We have to be
That's
able
a
to
single
get
barrel
home.
second.
Yeah, we do have one more single barrel up there. We want to top it off.
One
Yeah,
more.
let's
Sure.
let's do that.
Sure.
And
Sure.
so
It's
and
Good
then
thing I
we'll
didn't have
finish
another
up.
one. See,
There you go.
I'm going to start
Now
my
walk the
way
trees.
soon.
Oh,
Yeah.
And everybody, just so you know, you'll be getting some reports because we are joining the whiskey club here, and
Seth can
Knobs
go.
here,
Sure.
Knobs
Yeah.
here is going to be covering it. He's going to be using his phone to shoot it and producing the
Little
video
shorts
to-
about it. Yeah.
not just shorts, but
I'll
you're
be at the.
At the Thursday party.
I'll be
you'll
there.
be at the
very
party,
cool.
but I want you to get stuff and create an Ironfish promotional video. Oh, I do.
Are you taking notes?
Whole time, yeah, on the phone.
I mean,
I
I'm,
remember.
believe it or not, just from a son standpoint, I'm going to be paying him a lot. I don't. There's no budget,
Oh,
but
that's
he's
very
my
good.
son, so I figured,
Getting this
you know,
job
how
from
the
Definition
nepotism.
of I don't have to do
No, that's the definition is that we're doing something for him that he will then earn back. And normally, as a father, if you did that, he wouldn't. Now he does. Have
What,
to.
less than 5 years ago? I hated bourbon.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
the
And
reason
then-
why he's called
You're a good
Knobs
convert.
is that for his 21st birthday, I found a Knob Creek single barrel that was basically
It was bottled on
On
my birthday.
on his birthday.
Oh, wow.
So there it was on his
Barreled?
birthday. So I
Barreled.
yeah.
Barreled.
Barreled on his
Barreled
birthday.
on my birthday. So
No,
it was
no,
put-
no,
it was bottled.
No, it was bottled on your birthday.
I still have the
because-
bottle.
Because you were, it wasn't a
We can
20,
check.
it wasn't a 21-year-old bourbon. If it was
Yeah,
barreled on your birthday,
Okay,
it would be
then it'd be
21 years
Sorry, it was
old.
bottled. Yeah.
But he was a gin guy. Okay. And he always said, I'm a gin guy. Well, that's the bottle where he basically was, sipping it. And then he realized that bourbon.
And
is a li-
I treated that bottle so dirty. I put it in root beer and
Oh.
I was making bourbon root beer floats and all this stuff. Like, oh, that's good enough. Yeah.
but I
looking back, I'm like,
I keep telling him that there's a medical aspect to bourbon that doesn't exist with gin and vodka. It's that barrel, the aging, and that if you don't abuse it, and you basically, if you're doing like one pour a night or whatever, it's actually healthy for you. It used to be, as you know, the whiskey was the only medicine on the planet. They put it in everything to try and say that you could, and it definitely, you're feeling, a
calm
little
your
bit
nerves.
under the weather, and you have a pour before you go to bed. A lot of times you wake up and there's nothing. Whereas if you just let that go, all of a sudden you wake up and you got a cold. So, I mean, but the antioxidants that are in there, the wood, that oak that it pulls out of the tans and everything. There's a medicinal aspect to whiskey. Plus, the char filters out the impurities of the what's left off the
I mean,
still.
who needs NyQuil when you have a couple pours,
gargles.
Yes.
All right, everybody,
Just do it.
let's thank you so much.
Yes,
It's
thank
great
you.
to meet you, Kyle and Isaac and Jeff. Thank you so much. And we're gonna finish this up. www.scotchybourbonboys.com. Check us out for all the stuff that you need off that, and then also Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, X, and also on Spotify, iHeart, and Apple. Remember, good bourbon. You're gonna
Yeah,
turn.
we didn't get to talk about
You
this.
actually have to turn on my speaker.
Okay.
Is your phone going to go off?
Yeah, is it gonna start ringing again?
Let's see if I can get this.
There's a scam caller's been on the line.
It should make a noise. It's hooked up.
Science.
All right. Good bourbon equals good times and good friends. Make sure that you don't drink and drive, drink responsibly, and live your life uncut and unfiltered. And AI is going to take us out.
Yeah, right.
This is my Whopper tweet.
Listen along to find out how that can be you. Spending time with the boys you know and miss us. Just once a week. Whether it's Ohio, Kentucky, you know what, in South Carolina, you. Listen along.
I hate this song.
This is our TikTok channel.
Is it?
No, we need it.
Oh, this.
I heard their intro. So we need
Shit.
We have a stupid production team. It's stupid.
I will.
If I see what you
Wait, this is I'll give you my opinion just right after this. Remember,
Scotchy Bourbon Boy.
all right, I'm stopping it there. It
If
goes
you don't, I
into,
would.
I mean, it goes into,
It's like 7 minutes.
all
Yeah.
right, wait. So, okay. So she's going to turn off Facebook and YouTube, but and he's gonna run Instagram and he's gonna run X for me.
X, yeah.
And so we're gonna expand. But here's what I would say: write your lyrics. Run it
do this.
through so that look.
No, that was
Suno-
amazing.
No, like I said, Suno